recently you've been using this term, Black Russian, yeah, like, and I'm still trying to get to understand what you mean. And I remember listening to one of the tracks, I think it might have been the Black Russian track, and you had actually someone that was hollering at you and talking in Russian.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, is Smilez on some KGB thing? Like, what is really
like,
going on?
I can't lie, fam. This is what I want though.
Yeah.
I like that whole, like, my brain works, bro. My brain works, bro. And when I mean my brain works, I mean like, I don't sleep. I'm not a good sleeper, innit? I'm in the insomnia. My brain goes. When it starts going, it goes, bro.
Эй, Смайл, слушай, мы уже долго об этом говорили. Нужно деньги получать быстро, да? Немедленно, быстро. Понятно? Да? Да?
Yo, what's happening?
My guy.
Come on, Smilez.
My guy, huh?
Come on, man.
Man, like,
You're looking healthy, though,
I'm
brother.
trying, bro.
Looking
I'm
healthy.
trying.
So talk to me, what's the secret to this health and wealth? It's the glow is there, bro.
No red meat, hella vegetables and fish,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of stress, cuz.
Yeah. Why can't food? I feel like a glow is coming off for you, bro.
Bro, I don't know, bro. I think, you know what it is, fam? I think I'm in a good space. I haven't been for a while, but I'm in a good space now.
Good.
Like, I feel like I'm ready to create some epic stuff and just, you get me?
Good. Yeah, man. So you're in the zone.
I'm in the zone, bro.
But before we get into the zone, let's talk about the journey, because you've been on a journey, man. Like, it's a musical journey, a life journey. Like, you have taken a little bit of time out, but let's go to the journey, man. Like, tell me, first of all, who Smilez is and what has Smilez been through, man?
Smilez, Smiley. Shifty raw Smilez. Hey, listen, I don't know, bro. I started the music thing for me. I originally started in not primary school, secondary school, bro. It's a garage thing, man.
Of course.
You get me? Like, obviously, my uncle's quite well known in the garage thing, so that was always for me, innit? I never really had no big brother, so a lot of man was on the hip hop thing. You get me? The greasy hip hop, like my older cousin and that. Them man was on the UK garage and the jungle, and then my uncle's DJing jungle, so I wasn't really into it like that, if that makes any sense, but it grew on me. But yeah, man, I come through the garage thing, and man's been there through that transition, bro. Man was there, that transition, that into the grind transition, like that super glue, get it. Like, see, while you went in like that, I was there through all of that, bro. Man made the change with it. Man stopped the bitty bars and started filling it with whatever man need to fill it with. You get me? But yeah, bro, it's been a journey, bro.
But you know what, you say that though, yeah, but I was with Ashley Waters yesterday, yeah, and for me, Asher D, is not to get into him, but he is also very much before his time and a pioneer, because even though we had Biddy B going on, and he did a bit of that as well. He had bars, bro.
Bars.
But I feel like, even what you just said there as well, you kind of glazed it over, but Wiley was the main catalyst to that change.
Of course.
Between garage and grind, like that Esky sound changed everything.
That clash, man had that clash on tape, yeah?
Which one, Wiley and Kano?
No.
Which one?
The Heartless Crew.
Oh, Heartless Crew. You had it on tape? As in like video tape?
No, tape.
Oh yeah,
like
we all had it on cassette tape.
My big cuz, I swear, and on top of that as well, I got to shout him out. See my cousin Barry, yeah? Bazza. Shout him out, because see, I'm pretty sure man brought a Dizzy Rascal tape to West London to Labrador.
Yeah, bro.
He's a big cousin. Man, he lived in North, innit? So it was, I'm pretty sure it was Heat FM on one of them sessions.
Yeah.
And that's the tape that man brought to Grove here, bro. And that was when man was just getting into the grind. And everyone was like, who's this man? And I was like, bro.
Yeah. Because I think he went to school in North, didn't he? Dizzy Rascal?
Yeah,
he went to school in North. Yeah, man. It's been an amazing journey in music as a whole. And I feel like people of mine in your generation, we really understand it fully. But I feel like some of the newer ones who are really actually getting a chance to actually cater for this music thing, they don't really know the full history
and this is
behind it. But we do. And that's also, I think, part of the reason why we have a lot of artists from our generation who were doing their thing, but like you, kind of eased off of it for a while, because they were like, do you know what, yeah? Like, man's put so much into this, and now it's starting to do something, but it's like, man don't realise that what you're able to do is what we've provided to you as a foundation.
Exactly, bro.
But tell me more about that, how you feel about that.
See, our generation, yeah? You gotta hashtag this and copyright this and everything, car. Anyway, last of the old school and first of the new school. This is us.
It's a hard place to be.
And this is the best place to be, though. Like, the ones before us, they don't really get new technology and new music, and they can't really adapt like we can. Do you get me? And the ones after us, the craft that you lot are doing now, some of you don't know about the originals of it, the originators. You don't even know who they are, and that thing that bugs me a little bit, innit? And
even the rhyming schemes.
This is what I'm saying, bro. So bro, there's man that are rhyming and using old man's rhyming scheme and don't even realize they used it. It's like, oh yeah.
It's crazy, and sometimes, you know, but I listen to a lot of different like podcasts and shows that speak about this kind of thing, and they do make some good points saying that that's just how innovation goes. Every time we have innovation, as a generation, what happens is they want to kind of, I guess, not give the due props to those before, because even to a certain extent, we were like that as well. Because look, like some of us would appreciate man like PSG and Danger K
but Danger K is a legend though.
That some of us would, but then some man will be like, yeah, but what? But then there will also be man that's like, yeah, but what man's doing is different. Their thing was simple, but their thing was simple. Their thing showed you about rhythm, and flow. You get me? So moving forward from that though, let's get into you as an artist. Hot Off the Block.
Wow.
Was Hot Off the Block the first crew that you were in?
No.
So explain to me before Hot Off the Block, and also how the entrance into Hot Off the Block happened.
Alright, well, with the urban rap, I was in a group called Urban Rhymes, bro. And when I mean this is like, when I said I started MCing in secondary school, that's what it was. So we just started the thing. There was like what? Me and my classmates, bro. There's like me, Spenny M. He's a house DJ now. Spencer Martin.
Oh wow.
That's Spenny M. That old school DJ. Spenny M. Shaky, Dollars, Vibes. Deadly. We had a little clique, bro. We used to do our little sets after school in the yard.
You went to the same school?
All of that, yeah. We went to the same school. And this is what I'm saying. Some of the Hot Off the Block man, them, I went to school with as well.
Okay.
But they weren't called Hot Off the Block then.
Okay.
They were called Killer Hot Squad. Do you get me?
The names are mad.
Yeah, Killer Hot Squad, bro. Trust me, bro.
Killer Hot Squad.
And they had their show on Lalo every I think it was Saturday morning, bro.
Yeah.
You get me? So that transition there, I was in Urban Rhymes, but I got picked up by Live Link. So Live Link, Bashman, Bashman crew. I went play center with Bashy.
Yeah.
I remember Bashman was like 6. You see what I'm saying?
Doing his thing.
Like I replaced Bashy in Live Link because he had just left to go to East Connection with Major Ace and that. So I'm saying, so
it's a transfer thing.
Yeah, and Lisper and Riddler, they were older, man. They went to my school as well.
Where are they now? Are they still doing
that?
that?
Yeah, bro. They do holiday packages and all that.
Yeah, they're doing the travelling thing. Yeah.
But them are not older, man, and they said, look, Smalls, you like what you got. Like, do you want to come to some raves and raves? Took me with them, I linked up with Vapor and that. And then, like, life changed, bro. Because I've gone from doing radio sets in the yard to, bro, man's doing raves. Yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm out.
Yeah, that's mad.
He's like to come to talk to my mum. They had to speak to mummy.
Yeah.
And show her the flyers. And be like, look, this is what's happening. This is where we're going. We're going to be here on this night. Like, mum, you know, mum didn't rap, innit? Mum was on it. Like, where you going? Who are these people? You know what I'm saying? But it went from there. Man started to really build a little following. We had a little one pirate show on radio when we was in Urban Rhymes. Not even a proper one, but when I was in that, that's when I really started to get a little bit of, I wouldn't even say fame, bro. A little buzz, bro. Because we were going into the club and it was like we were celebrities sometimes.
Yeah.
Lively was. Do you see what I'm saying, bro? So
they were massive.
Man was there, bro.
Big them up still.
We had a little thing on TV, on the Ben TV documentary and that.
Wow.
All these things, bro, and it was just popping off for a second, and I was like, yo, like,
this is cool.
It was alright. But then I think what it was with the Live Link thing, there was only so far that we could go as MCs. Because Live Link is a sound.
Yeah, it's a sound.
They're a sound.
It's a
proper.
They're Unless you were a mic man.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
which is I was with them after we stopped doing the MC. I still used to do raves with them sometimes, which was supposed to. Do you see what I'm saying? And obviously with that, we're limited to certain things we were doing. So like we couldn't have a grand radio set on radio every week, which is as the scene was changing, that's what we needed to be doing.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So obviously I hit up Mo and that. I went to school with Mo and that Momentum and them. But I'm like, yo, let me roll on you lot set, innit? Come. So for a hot minute, I say it was a good 6 months. I was just going on their set for time.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And then Tuesday man was like, yo, Smalls, you know what? Like, what are you saying about this Live Link thing? You see what I'm saying?
Let's stop right there for a second though. The reason why is because, fam, like, it's mad that you're describing your story because it's very similar to mine. Like, me and 3 or 4 of, like, a few boys from my high school, we had a crew we would be doing. To be honest, I think I always say music is probably something that saved my life because that was actually what we were doing more of. That would have probably stopped man from doing more of the rest. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's interesting that you say that because we used to do that. Like my crew was called Too Dirty. Like obviously I'm from Harlem, so it's very yardified, dirty. Like thinking about it now, it's mad. Like, but yeah, 2D. It's called 2D though. And but why I want to stop here is because you're talking about jumping on his set or their set, bro. We don't have sets no more.
Yeah.
Man don't know about going and spitting for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, just having bars ready, strapped in here.
This is my
to go. Like, how has obviously pirate radio died, but how has that died? But a lot of these artists that are now like doing this, that, and I don't think they could do sets, bro.
And you've heard, I've said this plenty of times, bro. And this is why I'm like, it might come across like I'm doing the bitter old man thing, bro. But if you know what Off the Block and you know the levels that we were spitting at, bro. See, most of these new school grime youths, bro, they would not have got that microphone back. If you were listening, on that Tuesday set, bro, them man would not get them. These bros that a lot of people listen to now and are showing crazy props to, they would not have got the microphone back. You would never have heard your person. Because they don't have what we had.
So, but then I flip it, I flip it at the same time. I'm like, look, boom, that gave us our training, We knew how to hold the mic, we knew how to use our voice, we knew how to remember bars. But then at the same time, we weren't making tunes like how these youths are making tunes.
And this is it.
So, what is it like? Can we have both? Do we need both? Or
it's the balance.
It's just an evolution.
I think it's the balance and evolution. You see what I'm saying? Because some groups at that time may have been making tunes. Like we started to get in the studio. Coming towards the end of we were making Hot Off the Block tunes. There was Western and certain tunes coming around. So it was only a matter of time before we got into it. But like with the whole thing and the way not everyone was about it with the same. Everyone's got life going on, innit? Some man started to get to the age of stuff. Man started hitting the road. Someone started getting work jobs and stuff. So it kind of fizzled out anyway. You see what I'm saying? But I honestly believe, bro, if we had carried on, bro, like man know the levels, innit? Bars. 13 man in the clique and everyone had bars, bro.
Yeah, Off the Block were cold still. They were
bars,
cold. Fam. Like they came underneath the radar like a few times. Like man knew, like bro. There were some spitters that were dangerous.
You know what's mad as well, yeah? This is one thing as well, yeah? You see a lot of the east scene, yeah? They knew who we were as well.
Yeah.
And they knew because I went to college in East. Yeah. I went to British Academy of Music in Bow.
But they had the monopoly. Yeah. They had the monopoly over the whole scene. Yeah. And they were bringing
Trust me. But they knew who we were. They knew. And it was funny because there was times where I felt like it was, we can't let these Westmen come through at all. Yeah, we cannot let them in.
Do you know what it is? And it's weird because you know what's mad, bro? Because I'm with you and like we experienced the scene as we did as well, and it's like we were fans of the scene.
This is what I'm saying.
And what was mad is like, you know, about 2 or 3 days ago, flipping Tinchy Strider just phones me, bro. And like this is a man who we were listening to from young, like Tings in Boots. He was done in our raves as a 15-year-old or something. And me and him are actually having a similar conversation. And actually, I'm gonna link him up soon because he wants to actually talk about a few things and a few ideas for projects. But
do you know what's funny? You said Tinchy Strider because I gave him my first mixtape outside Uptown Records.
Crazy.
And that mixtape, mixtape came out when True West MC was on Channel U.
True.
And I was the only. I was like, that's why I got to thank Jay Wing for that. You see Jay Wing put me on that tune, and Jay Wing said to me, "Smilez, you see when this video comes out, make sure you've got something to promote." And I had a mixtape that I recorded myself, everything in the youth club, bro. Bro, you just give me Tinchy Strider was outside Uptown Records, bro. And I gave it to him. Yeah, bro.
He's a good brother. But the reason why I mention him is because we were having a similar conversation. And it's like, we were just basically trying to, it was more of like we were kind of like talking historically. We were kind of reflecting on kind of, because he was even like, bro, I'm 32 now, I've got a child. I was like, bro, Tinchy Strider's 32? I'm like, bro, aren't you still 14? Like, you know like that. And it's like, we were just having a reflective moment. But then, I don't know, are we getting to that stage where we're those reminiscers? Are we like,
we're close, bro.
Yeah, we're reminiscers.
We're close, bro. I feel like I get that vibe where I'm almost that bitter old man sometimes.
So what gives you, alright, so we spoke about, what were they called? Urban Rhymes, Live Link, Hot Off the Block, big them up, massive click, HODB, Flips, big up, he's out now, come on. So, people's lives move on, people get older, responsibilities, work, road, things slow down, clicks, because even it happened in my clique as well. Like one man was like, you know, I'm retiring. Like man was just like, yo, like too much man is spitting. I'm just like, this is not really. I'm just retiring. And so I remember as well. Everyone was like, well, Brit's kind of done then. But I remember me on my own. I was still doing my thing. I started making songs by myself, and I started, and then I kind of got into poetry as well. But for me, passion has never stopped. I've always been in touch with the scene in some way or not. But I noticed with you, it's like you were kind of like, because I remember from speaking to you, you were like, you know what? I'm just gonna, like, this is the scene, I'm just gonna leave that there. Music in the scene, I'm just gonna leave that there, and I'm just gonna go over here and do this for a while. So what kind of gives you the inspiration and I guess the impetus to come back then and do it? And also, what I will say as well is, how do you leave something that you love? I know this is gonna be a bit of a hard question, like, because like, I'm not putting it on you, but how do you leave something that you love, or why should I say? And then also, what brings you back to it?
Alright, see music, for me, and this is what I've always said to people, music for me is something I love, and right now I can tell you exactly what it is now, and music is my escape. It's an outlet for me, innit? So I need music to get over certain phases and stuff in my life, bro. You get me? Like, I could be going through a madness, bro, and I'm on lockdown, shutdown for like 2 weeks, bro. Autopilot, I can tell you that autopilot thing. And then it's like, I'll just hear an instrumental, bro, and whatever's on my button, see when it starts going, bro, it's going. Don't stop, bro. And then you'll get an all good cuz video, but mum, or you'll get a count your blessings verse, or you'll get a verse like you just heard, like just before we start. Do you get it? Like, and for me, I feel like the older I get, I have to take more time out because I'm not talking the same shit that I used to talk before, and I think that's what it is now. There's not as much effort and thought process behind the bars and that, bro. Do you get me? Like, man could do the dip 4/4 draws and all that all day long, bro. Do you get me? And that's you to come and try and, I don't know, expand on that, bro. You get me? Like, you got, there's more potential. And
that's something that we've spoken about privately loads. And from speaking to you, I guess the implication from you that you found that very hard. I think I tell you what I get from you. You knew that you had to change subject matter because man's life is doing something different, and man are getting older and man are not really on that no more. But then I think you also found it difficult to change your artistry to adapt to that because you had always had, I guess maybe it was mindless before. You could just create the bars, but now there was having to be more thought about what I'm writing. So is that another part of the reason why you had to kind of slow down? Did you have to allow yourself to adapt to change?
Definitely. And I'd say mainly, one of the main reasons was my baby brother. Not my little one, baby brother, because he lives in Peckham, innit? And for a long time, I was trying to tell him how to live or tell him what to do or tell him not to do certain things, but I was being a hypocrite, bro. Because I was still active on the road, I was still doing certain things, but I'm telling him, you can't listen to that. And when it hit home, I looked on his BB one time, he was quoting one of my bars. And it wasn't a nice bar. So I'm like, yo fam, something has to change, innit? I can't be spitting like this and expect you to change, innit? So now for me, it's like, bro, I've got people that I know that are looking up at me. Like, I can't keep doing that, bro. If something doesn't sit well with me, I won't do it, bro. And that goes for everything.
I know a lot of artists, yeah? And I know for a fact, some of the artists that everyone will know as well, and I know for a fact that doesn't sit well with them either, but they still do the music or have a couple of tunes that incorporate that. How and why, from your perspective as an artist? Because I've asked them, I know what they tell me, and it seems to be a similar thing between them. Yeah, but how and why do you think they can still do that? Like, because you'd be surprised to know how much artists, and even some of the artists that I know as the greasiest, but they're in the trap because that has enabled a platform, and that's expected from them. Like, I'll give you an example. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. Yeah, but T.I. did a conscious album. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You knew that, yeah? The album did nothing.
Like nothing at all. That's not what they want to hear.
It did.
Fan base thing, and this is why I haven't blown, and I don't think I get the love I get. I spit better than 90% of the man out there. But it's not. I'm not saying what they want to hear. You have to remember, a lot of these platforms and some of these things, they entertain fuckery, bro. And they have to entertain fuckery in order for them to continue and for them to succeed. And I don't mind that. That's cool. But at the same time, you gotta, I don't know, but there's only so long I can do it, innit? Like inside, like a lot of things I go with my gut and I go with my soul and all them things there, bro. If it's really not sitting right with me, I can't do it, bro. And it's as simple as that. No matter how much money, bro, man can give me meals, bro. I'm really at this present point in time, I'm not money oriented at all, bro. It doesn't.
But you know, you say that, but could you really though?
I think I could, bro. It does, like, bro. If it, like, I feel so strongly about some things, bro. I can't do certain things, bro. Like, and I feel like, but I probably could have blown at times. There's been times we've been on shows, bro, and we've been in Manchester doing tours and and I've been approached by management and certain people and they're offering me things and I'm like, bro, that's not really bro. Do you get it? No.
It is hard.
But a lot of people can't say no.
Yeah. It is hard, but even me myself, I'm not an artist, but like I found myself in situations where people want me to be part of certain things. And especially when, you know, when your artistry becomes your life, or in my sense, when your profession becomes your life, or your profession becomes your bread and butter, it's like it's a hard situation to be in, because the thing is, this is what I do now as my job, and it's like I might be in a situation, or I might be in a time in my career, or a duration of time when things are dry, and then someone's come to me with, oh, would you want to do that? And I'm like, do you know what, I don't really want to, but at the moment things are dry, so that check could put me out of a situation. Luckily it hasn't happened, it has kind of happened once, but it didn't come to fruition yet. But that's what I think is happening to a lot. And the thing is, I don't want to get too deep, because this is not about getting too deep, but I sometimes feel like that is part of the plan of what they want us to be in. They want us to proliferate a certain message. So therefore they put us in situations where they're calling this like, well look, you need to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. It's a test.
Because like even yesterday, I don't want to get too deep again, but I was listening, and I'm not trying to call out artists, but I'm just going to say names. I don't give a damn, I'm going to say names, Like, I think Lowski is cold. He's cold. But family, the message is mad. Like, I heard it, what did he say again? Something about Earth. And up is up, they'll tell me about cousins. Like, you know, and obviously, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm just like, oh, but the thing is, he's cold. He is. But, and I listen to his project, but bro, his whole project is just about dipping man down and getting on the scoreboard. And I'm like, do you know what? This is too much. And let me just finish it off like this. I'm not going to say who I was talking to, but I was at his label a couple of months back. And I was talking to one of the people that are working on his product, like on his whole, because he's signed, isn't he? And I said, I've noticed that he's not hanging around with his, because he's from that Spartan, Moscow.
You've got to stay away from
I don't want to say too many names, but he's part of that little situation. And I said, I've noticed he's not really hanging around with them Harlem Spartan as much anymore. They were like, I know, we're kind of like making him kind of do his own thing. I'm saying, you do realise that you're putting him in a vulnerable situation, though, right? And they kind of looked at me like, what do you mean? They're confused. And I'm like, he's, the situation that he's part of, there's some real stuff that's going on, and if he's on his own and vulnerable, something could happen to him. They don't even understand.
They're oblivious to it, bro. It's non-existent to them. That part of that lifestyle, it doesn't exist in their universe. Do you get it?
Bro, I'm gonna stop here after this. I wrote a poem, and in the poem I said something like, they say the hood's no good, but they what's it? They say the hood's no good, but they glorify the road life. So what I was saying in that poem was just like, I was like, yo, you say that it's no good, and you think us, but then you glorify it.
And this is my thing. Remember we had that discussion earlier, and I was saying to you about just the system in general and how it ties down. Like they want to be putting money into more policing and more money into this and that and the other. When firsthand, I know that if you stop taking money from people like me when I'm working in the youth club and where it's you're directly taking them out of situations. Like at one point we used to take them away, bonfire night, Halloween, them nights. Where's the money for that gone? It's gone.
They're not interested in solution-based things.
For me, my take on this government is that we live in a country where our government like to portray themselves as responsive. Do you get me? So they have a system set up a way where we get into these mad problems where we can't sort them out ourselves. So we look for help. So there's things that I've seen as that, how is my man asking for stop and search back? Do you get it? And I feel like that is a desperate call out, bro. Desperate. Like we even bring up my man as well, I'm not even going to say nothing bad about him, what's his name? I like him, man. He's a good dude, man. Bars. Santan Dave, bro.
Yeah.
When he said that thing about the stop and search thing, yeah, like I didn't fully agree with it, but I fully understood where he was coming from. And for me, it scared me, bro, because it's like, bro, the youths are calling out for more stop and search, bro.
Bro, do you know what it is?
Like, bro, how like?
I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Mate.
I can't remember where I was, but I was somewhere doing a talk or something. I was being questioned about these I might have been doing a talk actually, and I was being questioned about people always because I work in this area, because I do shows about it. People always come to me, what can we do? What can be done? And the thing is, I had to be real, and I was like, for the first time in my life, I think possibly like I've actually got to the stage where I actually don't know what we can do, because I think one, I'm getting further and further away from the age of what is now what we consider being a youth, and two, I think the mentalities are growing further and further apart. I think we actually are experiencing the first generational shift in terms of mentality. And so when it comes to the stop and search thing, I was like, well, do you know what? Yeah, because I put it like this. I think about carnival, even though they violate us in carnival, but I think about, they seize a whole heap of shit. If those nanks weren't seized, that could possibly be lives.
Yeah, of course, I know.
So then I tried to equate it, and I'm like, well, but the thing is, that's if the searches are targeted.
Okay.
But the searches are not targeted. Like, they're just violating winning in.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's get back away from that. Let's get back into you now. So we're back into music. So you had to take your time to grow, man. You had to take your time to grow. You had a child.
Yeah.
You get me? God bless. Get me? Congrats. And life moved forward.
Yeah.
So what is it that enabled you to say, let me go back and find my first love? Our first love is a special love, innit? And usually our first love usually is something like a sport or a music or you know what I mean? So what allowed you to go back and find your first love?
Alright, I had Little Man obviously, but before Little Man come, like I lost mum, innit?
Yeah.
And for me, that was a long testing time because she was sick for a while. Do you get me? So there was a lot of factors that was surrounding that whole thing, because it wasn't just that she was sick and she passed away. There was a dodgy doctor involved. Like, man had to go through court cases.
Oh, wow.
Fucking, you get me? Like all of these things, bro. You get me? Like my little brother wasn't here. He was in jail. Do you get me? So there was loads of things. Do you get me? But that time there was like, I don't know, there's something mum used to always tell me, focus on your music, and you should do this tune. I got Tune Shaka, she's like, I like that Tune Shaka, go on, ring him and tell him to put it out, I love the tune out. And all these things, you get me, and she's on it, and that's why part of the reason why I find it hard to go and come back, because at the same time when I am doing music, part of it reminds me of mum as well, innit? Do you see what I'm saying? So that's probably why, not just music, but in general, why I've had such a tough time, because she was so connected in every aspect of my life. So my whole paradigm shift. Everything I do now, it's like, I either avoid it slightly because it reminds me too much of mum, or
you go full throttle.
You see what I'm saying? So with the music thing now, it's like, bro, I've got Little Man here, Little Man likes music, and he sees it, he knows that Daddy makes music, and now I feel like I have to show him something that, do you get me? To give him a little something else, because he might see just the old stuff.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And all the old stuff, I can't just be promoting the old stuff because Daddy's not living that life no more. Do you get me?
But I think I know you sometimes like when you talk about it, I feel like you talk about it with a little bit of a not resentful, but maybe a remorseful tone. But I feel like you don't need to.
No.
I feel like the music represents a journey,
a change
and a progression.
Yeah.
Like the beautiful thing about you being an artist, something that maybe I don't have so much of is that you can actually map a journey. And you can be like, oh wow, I remember that. Oh, you know, I was here at that stage. Oh my God, yo. Well, that's when I started to, yo. You know? And it's like, I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it's only right that you have a journey.
Yeah. It's more not so much regret. It's more probably cringe.
Okay.
That's what I do. I cringe because it's like really because I automatically remember what I was doing at that age.
We all were there, man. Like I think it's the beautiful. I always call it the beautiful journey, man, because like
it's all about the journey, cause
yeah,
everything is the journey. You get me?
And like, okay, so cool. So you got back in. Now, recently you've been using this term, Black Russian. Yeah, like, and I'm still trying to get to understand what you mean. And I remember listening to one of the tracks, I think it might have been the Black Russian track, and you had actually someone that was holding that you were talking in Russian.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, it smells on some KGB thing. Like, what is really
Like,
going
and
on?
I can't lie, fam. This is what I want though.
Yeah.
I like that whole, like, my brain works, bro. My brain works, bro. And when I mean my brain works, I mean like, I don't sleep. I'm not a good sleeper, innit? I'm an insomniac. My brain goes. When it starts going, it goes, bro. What they're talking about on the news, what they're talking about is giving the police more fees and more money.
That's how they bring through their legislation.
Exactly, we know this. And this is what I'm saying. So they'll make everyone think that the youths are going wild and crazier than they actually are, so they can put more drinks on the streets. When really and truly, just give them a bit more peas. Every year that I've been working with this service or one of the services, they take peas from someone.
But do you understand who we owe this money to?
You get it?
To the bank guys, to 5
But
families.
who are these bank guys?
The 5 families.
Why don't they stand up, come here, and we could say,
Hello.
sit down, let's talk about it. I think we all work too much. I think that we've been brainwashed into being told that we have to spend all our lives working.